Good afternoon, everyone. A heartily welcome to all to the valedictory session of CSIR Quantum Conclave 2025. And so I hope you had a learning experience for yesterday as well as today. And we will have one HPC facility visit as well in the afternoon. Let's start the session by welcoming the dignitaries on the dais. Dr. Harish as the Acting Director NAL on the dais, Dr. G.K. Patra, Director for PI, Professor T.S. Mahesh, please come on the dais as well.
Chaitanya can come.
So, yeah.
Please,
So, yeah, I would request Dr. Venkatesh also, please join us on the dais.
And then you also.
And Dr. Sujanya ma'am as well. So I hope you had such a positive and learning experience since last 2 days. I know this becomes the solving your problem through this quantum world is a complicated phenomena, and there are so many steps in between. And I know one cannot learn that so many things just in a period of 1.5 days or 2 days actually. So we'll keep engaging over the emails and through online meetings as well. So yeah, let's start by the progress report of these 2 activities, actually kind of a program report what we learned since last 1.5.
It's not my report.
Yeah, by Dr. Sojanya ma'am. Progress report of all of us actually.
Don't evaluate me. But actually, this I just want to tell you, share that journey what we had from almost in January 2025 when we had a meeting with IBM and then started online discussions. And one of our colleagues said that we already have the quantum computer. So it was at that stage of knowledge we started this journey, and then got the news that government of India is also encouraging and investing lot of fund in this taking this quantum advantage, and we had a series of online discussions with both the industry and other academic institutions. And later on in I think in May, Shailaja got into she got shifted to headquarters, and she took over as a head business development group. And then since she already had some exposure to this online discussions, she continued these discussions at the headquarters level. And actually because of that headquarters it got triggered more, and then she convinced DG madam about the whole thing and whole exercise, and she said why don't by that time NQM has announced, and then we started learning NQM for NQM call. First call, actually one of our colleague has already submitted his proposal. He was into that subject, but for the second call where quantum algorithm call was done, then we started working. I think these calls are very much important for Indian science. It will give chance to go through the literature and try to learn. Our intention in CSR is, let us start something about this new maybe disruptive technology to take it to the next generation. So as a seniors of all the CSR laboratories, it is our responsibility to see that this will be continued even after we leave our institution. So with that motivation, she convinced our Director General, and Kalai Selvi madam was very much cooperative, supportive. In every minute she gave her all her approvals, and then we started this mission, this activity. So but from the beginning our intention was not like, this is not a regular conference that speaker come and then we'll have some 1 or 2 day and then go back. It has to be because we have now the best brains, right, coming all the way across India. We are coming together and we should have a maximum benefit out of this conclave. So we planned in such a way that it is very difficult to get to get connected to the speakers, because everyone is very much engaged in their activities, especially speakers who are into teaching profession, where they have to do both research and also the teaching. They cannot lose the semester classes. So but with great we are really thankful to all the speakers who really made their time and then for us, and then very much important for us. And coming to what summary of what we had is, we almost got 75 people registered for this program, and then it gave me also a opportunity to learn about 37 laboratories. Before that I was in in my IICT well, okay, only NGRI, CCMB was my neighbors, so maybe sometimes to NCL, but it gave me, and all our team members gave me a lot of opportunity. And we found that there is a lot of hardware foundation is there in CSIO and also in Csir, and in IMMT. Yeah, I think I really this was the first time that I am coming to know about more of your expertise. And AMPRI into materials, and CSM, CRI, SECRI, NML and NC, they have given in their concept notes about their depth in the quantum materials, catalysis, biomolecules, and materials for energy storage. So on algorithm side, we have team coming from IMMT, NEAST, NBRI, CDRI, CSM, CRI, IMTech, series, SCRC, CRRI and NCL. So, and coming to domain application which will span agriculture and climate, NEAST, NBRI and SCRC and CRRI, they have come up with some very good notes. I think it is we already have the strength. Now this this conclave has given you the overview of how to, and maybe it also gave us the direction how to formulate the proposal. And it is not just, don't forget, just after leaving this place, it is lot of exercise will be provided for you to complete with fresh minds. By after going home, you give us all your feedback. And also Vinod will has come up with very good plan of working in future, so we will do that. So but everything has to be done by December. We don't want to wait 2026 to come. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with all of you. And very importantly, the senior research senior scientist, please take this responsibility, carry that baton, and take this. New recruits are going to come, right? We are having a lot of recruitment session is going on across all CSR labs. Actually, what the exercise I am doing only to build a platform for the new recruits that are going to come at IACT. So likewise, everyone take the responsibility and see that these best young minds, they have very good ideas and they got lot of exposure in this new technology, and take it forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice pointed out. In fact, CSIO is recruiting 2-3 scientists in the domain of quantum itself. Yeah. So moving on, next, I think I would request Dr. Harish Barsilia to give his special remarks on, as he's a co-host director of CSIR Quantum Conclave. I would request.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Then that's okay. That's okay. Then yeah. Then let's have the valedictory address by Dr. G.K. Patra, Director 4PI.
Yeah, good afternoon. I think full 2 days of tight programs. Even I attended almost all the lectures except one in the morning today. Maybe the QPI one I couldn't attend, but I've seen the QPI presentation in some other event. There was one more presentation, so I'm aware of what they are doing. It's good that there is one Indian company at least who is building a quantum computer, so that gives lots of hope to us as an indigenous mechanism to do it, because always we should not be depending only on this big companies like IBM, TCS and all. Like, we have startups who are into this, so it's good that it is happening. Lots of learnings were there in the course of things, starting from fundamentals, how quantum qubits work, and then how the coherence, how this entanglement, everything was done. So we looked at that, but then I want to understand, like, how do we distinguish between now a classical computer and a quantum computer? What is the major difference? Because we need to identify applications, what is suitable for quantum computers and what is suitable for classical computers. That's very important. As I told in the inaugural session, it's very clear that quantum computer is not going to replace the classical computer. Not all problems that works on classical computer can be moved to quantum computers. That is also not clear. And also there are some places where we may not even need a quantum computer. For example, when we looked at the what do you call that factorization problem, correct? Now, if I give two big numbers to a classical computer and also to a quantum computer, you tell me who can do it faster? I give to multiply. I'm giving two numbers, one to a classical computer, one to a quantum computer. Why? No, that is the overload that you are talking about, assuming that it's already done. Yes. So the thing is, classical computers, they work in the exponential computational complexity, correct? While the quantum computer works at the what do you call that? The what do you polynomial? Yeah, tell me. Yeah, whatever is the size. Yes, that also a classical and quantum, it will not matter much. It will be same. Yeah. Now, why I'm saying is, if you look at the graph of a exponential curve and a polynomial curve, you plot a similar size exponential and polynomial curve. There are certain period for which you actually get the exponential one is much lower than the polynomial one. So, and our 99% of our applications all fall into that category. It is only this high like high complex simulation and all which falls into the other category. Those are the ones which we will be taking to the quantum computers, not on the thing. So certainly we'll have to decide how things work. The other difference between HPC, normal, classical, and then the other one is when I run a parallel. See, suppose assuming that I have a huge classical computer, which and then the equivalent number of, like suppose a 4 qubit number computer, correct? Now 4 qubit means 2 to the power 4 at a time it can do, assuming that it is 16. So suppose I have a 16 processor system. If I want to compare the difference between those two, what is the disadvantage of using a classical computer, or what is the advantage of using a quantum computer? In classical computer, whatever you compute, all the 16 processing elements that you get, you have access to the output of them. While in quantum computer, when there are, you can also do 16 at a time, but then eventually when you access it, you will get only one number. So you lose all other calculations, which collapses into just one number, correct? So there are specific problems that can only be run on the quantum computers. So you need to identify such problems from your areas, whether it is chemistry or CFD or whatever it is. We need to look into such problems and try on the quantum computers, correct? So I roughly looked at that. If you want to do an optimization problem, like what was told as a traveling salesman problem, when you have large number of options available, you want to pick what is the optimum thing. Those are the cases which are very nicely can be ported onto a quantum computer. Or I think I had told that if you can convert something into a periodic problem, because then you can actually calculate the period of that particular problem, then your problem is solved. Such problems also can be done. Such problems, actually the complexity doesn't come down drastically, but it comes down by, I think, a factor of 2 or something like that. Such one comes only a factor of 2, the Grover's algorithm. Suppose I have a searching this one space, it comes down by 2. So that is still not the most optimum application that. So these are some of the applications that you should be looking at. So the job now is, when you go back, now you understand how quantum computer works, how classical computer works. Identify problems which are suitable for a quantum applications. Let us, at least if we can do that first, I think we have done half of our job. We should be doing from our respective fields. So the other thing is, see, quantum computer, I think the physics part is quite known, why a quantum computer works. It is only the engineering part which is a problem because of the error, how to handle error. Those are the major issues which are basically trying to understand there. And in terms of security, I think today also there was a talk about harvesting now and then like kind of decrypting later. That is something which is very, very serious. So the definition says, if anything that you want to be secret even after 2032 is kind of 32, 33 is timeline when you are supposed to have a usable quantum computer. So if you want that, then you should actually use both classical encryption techniques and also some post-quantum encryption technique and keep them safe. Otherwise, there is a chance that it can be decrypted if somebody has already kept a copy from now. So that's something that needs to be done. Yeah. So as far as 4PI is concerned, as you know, like it has become a national lab very recently. I think most of you are aware of that. And we are positioned as a horizontal across all the labs. What it means is that we are there with all your labs. That 9 themes are there. We are actually, themes are the verticals, and then we are actually an horizontal. So we have our presence in all the themes that we are there. So whenever we think about a problem, we don't think only from the perspective of 4PI. We look at from the perspective of whole of CSIR, whether it is the HPC requirement or storage requirement or any other requirement in terms of AI ML support and other things, that we look at that what that CSIR needs, and accordingly we do it. So if you have a challenge or you need some support and all, you always reach us, and then we will be able to help you as much as possible, because we have still our manpower is not that great that we can actually support for every aspect. We are still trying. There are because of that DOE order and all in between, they are not able to recruit more than certain numbers. But once there is a understanding that also will come. Once that comes, we will be able to recruit more people. At that time, what we are thinking is to specifically recruit people for various themes. So we have 9 themes. So we will have scientists working for each theme who will have both knowledge of AI ML and other aspects along with the domain knowledge, something like that, so that the interfacing with the other labs will be much easier for that. But that's little longer, because we still don't know when will we get those positions and how we will do the recruitment. Lots of procedural hurdles and other things that we will be doing. So but be assured that any support you need from 4PI, to the best of our ability and all, we will be able to support you. Now, with coming to this particular conclave, I think I see lots of, depending on the questions and other things what has come, I see that there is lots of scope of a very good proposal that we should be able to stitch out for the immediate mission project, but also we should be keeping our eyes open for the bigger umbrella and all. Basically, we should treat quantum as a program, and the projects which will come under that as the fuel that will run this program. So let quantum be an overarching program across CSIR. And whenever we have an opportunity for applying for some project and getting projects, because to run we still need some energy, correct? So that will come from the projects that some manpower will get, some equipment required we will get it, something, those small things we will be able to get. So let us have that. I think enough was told by Sailaja and others about that. So let us seriously look into that. Let us and the other thing I was thinking is, like, see, director has nominated 2 or 3 people per lab, correct? But that doesn't mean that it is only restricted to them. So one thing that you can go back and do is kind of a mapping to find out who are the other people who have the potential to participate in such program and bring them in. See, only thing, because we cannot bring 1,000 people here and make a kind of thing. That's why we targeted 1 or 2 or 3 people max from each lab. But now you are the ambassador for us. You go back to your lab, really do kind of a competency mapping exercise kind of thing. People who really would be able to contribute to that, go back and then do that, so that overarching thing, we can have a bigger people, that a large number of people who can participate, who can really contribute to this field. That also we should be very careful, not for namesake. I don't think anybody should be there for namesake, should be able to contribute to the total program that we are looking at. So that's what I will urge everybody to go back and do that exercise internally, is to see that who else is there who can contribute to this program in a very constructive manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving us at least one assignment and providing us the pathways to how to proceed further. Yeah, and I would request Dr. Harish Barsilia to give his special remarks for this.
Very good afternoon to all of you. I'm sure that last 2 days were very, very hectic, and there was a lot of learning from the experts which were drawn from different institutions in the country. I participated in 2-3 lectures, and they were very kind of motivating, as well as I see that a lot of competence is there in the country. As far as the CSR is concerned, yes, we are working in isolation, and like somebody is working only on the material, somebody is working on the simulation, somebody is working on the hardware part, but integrating them becomes a very, very important. So now we have learned this, what are the recent advances as well as the challenges in this the so-called the quantum computing. So my urge is now that you are ready to formulate your proposals. I was told that some of the concept proposals have been sent, but in the mission mode project, it requires a detailed project report need to be submitted. So we have recently we concluded one mission mode project on aerospace materials and coatings and technologies. From my personal experience, I can tell you that when you are writing these proposals, they are different from the gap projects or the sponsored project. Your goals should be realistic goals, because many times what we either generally we'll overstate what is our competencies, and then of course there will be challenges will be there. We are entering into a domain which is highly challenging, that we should know very, very, especially the hardware part. Software part, of course, the India is a soft power in that thing, but in the hardware part, for example, even if you talk about the quantum dots or things like that, or there are challenges there, so we need to address those challenges. When you are formulating those proposals, we should be very, very careful. And of course then we also should list out what are the risk elements when you are making our proposals. And most of our proposals, the sticking to the timelines and the expenditure becomes a very challenging in the current scenario, because we have to go through a lot of like GFR rules and GT, OT and all those things. So we should be extremely careful that when you are proposing, suppose if I want to buy one equipment which is costing more than say few crore or thing, we should do a very proper homework, otherwise the utilization of fund becomes very, very challenging, and that is going to hamper the progress of the project. And also I urge that the younger colleagues to target for TRL, which is maybe more than 5 or 6, so that this can be realized for the transfer of technology to the potential vendors in the country. In this process, of course, the IP protection becomes very, very important. That's also very important. Of course, the publication, I'm sure that your students will take it forward. But in terms of the IP protection, because this is a very upcoming area, it is very, very important. Even if you have a copyright of any software what you are writing, that also needs to be taken into consideration. And then collaborating among the sister labs, that's part number 1. And then also with the other national institutes in the country, it becomes very, very important if you want to kind of come up with some new ideas. So these are some of the things which it comes to my mind. So let this mission give good visibility of CSR in the country. So that's my only final comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for providing us the instructions for DPR specifically. And in fact, I have taken the notes for these. And when we will send, let's say, template for the DPRs, we will ask them specifically what's the novelty aspects, what are the risks, and how to mitigate those risks, and what is the proper market survey. I mean, we are supposed to do the market survey before if we are proposing any equipment in our DPRs. and of course the target TRL, what are the outcome of the proposal in fact, and of course the outcome in terms of the intellectual properties, the copyrights should also be mentioned in our proposal. So we'll list out those things in the proposed format in fact that you will be receiving soon. So yeah, so moving on further, I would request Professor T.S. Mahesh, sir, from the academic point of view, we need your inputs that few of us are just starting in this domain. So how to go further and how to, as the sir mentioned that quantum is kind of a overarching thing and we all are actually working towards it. How to make it as a that kind of a program that in out of 5-6 years we can have the tangible outcome out of it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I was only prepared for the morning talk. So anyway, I spoke for 30-40 minutes in the morning. So yeah, it's a timely effort, and I pointed out in the morning itself. And I hope many things, many collaborations, many proposals and products would come from this. And yeah, all the best, and also congratulations to organizers. Yeah, so that's all. Thank you.
Yeah. So from organizers' point of view, I have just one thing to share. We'll prepare a consolidated document which will be having the name of the labs, the title of the projects, and the research expertise and the PIs. Whomsoever have submitted their concept notes. So that document will be circulated to all of you, so that you can in fact have a look on the other research ideas, what people's, let's say from IMMT is proposing, or let's say from series proposing. So we can have a collaborative research proposal in a particular domain, and 2 or 3 labs can in fact come up with a consolidated proposal. That would be in fact a good idea as well. So yeah, I would request my dear colleague Dr. Swapnil Brungale to give the vote of thanks. I know your name is very difficult to pronounce.
Maybe just one or two comments you can take from the audience. Yours. Yeah, I think that will be a very good idea.
It's Burungle. Yeah, before he starts, I think let us not make this mission project as a combination of projects. Rather than let us look at how to work together and then work from one particular goal oriented, and then multiple labs can work together towards that, rather than typical projects that in CSIR you done, where like multiple projects come together and then you form a mission project.
Many times what happens is that we give the project for the name, for namesake. That should not happen. We should be very realistic that I have that particular competency to deliver that one. And then you should also know the competencies of your collaborators, so that it becomes easier. And it should be realistic in your whatever you are developing or whatever you are doing. Because many times what happens in excitement, we'll say I can do this one also, but at the end of the program, either that has to be shelved, or then you get the negative comments from the monitoring committee. Mind it, all these projects will be monitored by a high-powered monitoring committee. And those committees, generally, their views are taken very seriously. So we should be very, very careful in whatever we are committing. So the best thing is that collaboration among sister labs. That is, I think, one of the very important with complementary competencies. And don't over kind of commit in your for the sake of getting money.
Yeah, actually, sir, to add to that, for NQM call, it seems DST has received about 350 proposals, research proposals for first call, and they made a series of reviews and committee reviews and all, and finally they approved only 14. So
I will give another. In a ANRF, the chairman was telling they got 5,000 proposals, and out of 5,000 only I think 20 were they were recommended for the thing. Yeah, so that is the kind of stiff competition you will have when your proposal goes for the. Don't think that once you submit the DPR it will be approved. It doesn't happen. It goes through 3 or 4 layers of scrutiny, and then when there is some sort of novelty in your proposal, then only it will be accepted.
I think now I can start. Okay, I think we have been talking about technology last 2 days, particularly quantum, and I don't want the faces to be very straight at the end of session. It's very engaging. I personally like these 2 days program. Very much. When I remember 2.5 months back when we decided to have this, it just started with the idea that let us have a platform where all our CSR family come together, sit together, discuss on ideas and how we can move forward in this particular emerging area. That was the idea we started with. And then this formation of working group came into picture. And then we decided, okay, let 4PI, NPL, NL, and CSIO lead this as a working group. And then we, got nominated, and then IICT, of course. There is no. I didn't do it. So that's what. So yesterday, what happened? As you said, I'm superpositioned at two different locations. I'm at the same time at 4P and NL doing the same thing. So that's what the formation happened, and then we progressed further. And then today was the event. Actually, we were like these 2 days event is we have been planning for, and I believe as name suggests, CSR Quantum Conclave. If you look at the theme, what we said is like building quantum capacity across CSIR, and which is fundamentals and application with industrial synergies. I just wanted that title to be justified. That is why, as Sir said, I want few comments, few feedback from my audience here who gathered and been there for last 2 days, who experienced lectures. We have listened to bright minds. We have listened to the policies and all in-depth details of technology. I want at least 2 or 3 feedback from you that how we did, what could have been improved as a program, as a technological spectrum, and any of your stories. So I would request 1 or 2 feedbacks now. Yeah.
Hello, myself Kinshuk from CSR CDRI. Certainly, I see a lot of benefit over the past 2 days. Like we didn't have any background. Certainly, I mean we didn't know what quantum computing means and how are we going to utilize. What I feel personally is that over the past 2 days of the event, I mean, at least I have some now understanding that what are the complexity, how I will be able to take first step, and what could be the projection outward, what I need to read so that I can translate these primary ideas into the more mature concepts. So certainly those are the realistic stuff I personally experience, and I'm taking some of the information back home and I'll do the work, and I think all of our colleagues will have the similar opinion for that. Another thing I want to add is the communication. There should be in between communication from the organizers, so that whatever we should not lose the pace, like some of the study material from the advanced user, either from the industry or the academia, if we have that, will be acting as a filler for our more upgradation, so that we'll have a more maturity on those aspects. And second is the mentor, I mean the person who have the very good skill, and if we can just align, so that connection building will be important, so that while we are developing proposal, we can have those I mean, not only within the CSR but outside of the CSR with those expertise, and we may be able to combinedly develop a proposal and submit. So those aspects from the organizer side would be required. Thank you.
Thank you. Point well taken. I think this is continuous effort. I can assure you that there would be no period will come where we are not even responding or we are not communicating or something like that. We are full-fledged engaged in this activity for upcoming years, projects, discussions, anything. We all are okay to get responses and any communication from your end in any of this technical landscape. Okay. Any other feedback, please? Yeah.
I'm Hema Singh from NAL. So this conclave was really unique, and actually it was different from other conclave I have attended. But there are few suggestions from my side. Like this one conclave is not enough. So my request is that every year you should conduct
That's why
such.
it's called 2025.
Yes, and also like in subsequent years, like sessions should be planned like for beginners, some basic fundamental, one beginner session, then intermediate expertise like that. Like all the lectures should not be that key, it goes over our head. Like some, because we are very new in this area and we are entering into the area. And another thing, my request is that this time I missed interaction among labs. Like we didn't interact much among, like how we will know, like you like as suggested by Dr. Harish and Dr. Patra, that our proposal should be combination of lab. Then how I will know, like I want to propose on quantum RCS, like whom I should, like from my own knowledge I know ki I can collaborate with NPL, but likewise other people they might not be knowing. So this interaction among labs also will be good. Thank you.
Vinod has actually answered your question, right? So he said that he is going to make a document where he will list out all the competence and expertise.
Maybe I have a suggestion. Once you kind of call for proposal is there, you can highlight some of the areas and let that goes to all the directors of the laboratories, and then in turn it will be percolated to the down to the all the scientists, and then they can see that wherein they can mix and match their expertise. I think that is the way forward.
Actually, 4 areas are already defined.
No, in the 4 means in that you can have
verticals are there.
Yes.
And that was already communicated. That is why we have almost how many proposals already? Concept notes.
Concept notes we have around
22 or so.
25
No,
concept
concept note will be one, right?
No,
I mean for the whole
for the
proposal.
whole, right
Yeah.
now what happened, every lab has sent their concept notes. Now that is where I'm a little worried that it
Now
should
that is the
become-
job of the program director, or then so only concept note will be generally one. After that there will be verticals, as sir is telling that 4 verticals. In that, what are the sub verticals you are thinking about? That information should go to the all the directors, so that, and then you can put it in the CSR website also, so that this kind of thing will not happen. Ki I don't know what he is doing, what she is doing, and then the complementary expertise can be pulled together.
I assume people have spoken to each other here.
That's correct. We were having enough tea time, tea breaks, and lunch time where you all were allowed to speak to each other. We are even belongs to same umbrella.
Because they are local.
Yeah.
They already like little.
Yeah.
While the other people are always together, so I hope.
What I request is that, because nowadays all these online meeting platforms are there, you make use of them and had interaction with your colleagues across. You can make WhatsApp group also. I don't know. Of course, I avoid those kind of groups because I'll be always in those groups. That's my personal choice. Okay.
Yes, I remember during our LDP, Devi will know that we had one competency mapping exercise which was done.
Yes.
So we can do a competency mapping exercise for this, okay, and then that can be done very easily, because now that Google, everything is available, who is publishing what, we can do such exercise and then come out with who is where in CSIR, who is a potential this one, that we can come out with it, and then maybe that will
But,
give us
Actually, I used it as one AI
Actually-
tool to map that, but it gave a lot of mistakes.
mistake.
No,
we
but
can-
what I suggest is that, I think, madam, you will be coordinating the program, or who is
Yeah,
going?
all 4 of us.
So, okay. So the program coordinators, they should kind of have some mechanism to directly talk to the down the line. So that communication should be very open. Otherwise, what will happen is that these kind of problem happen, that, oh, I don't know this thing. So that communication should be very, very open. Yes. So it is more on the project management now,
Right.
rather than on the technical. Of course, technical will be taken care by the scientists as well as the monitoring committee. But as a program coordinator, it
Got
is
it.
very, very important. See, we don't realize that getting project is very easy, but to execute that project is a very, very challenging, because we are getting money from the taxpayers. So we are liable to be audited. In fact, morning there was some audit was there from, since morning CAG was there. Some files which are 2010, they are coming now. So we should not do anything which is kind of bringing bad name to the organization or things like that.
People associated with that.
They were superannuated, things like that. So it becomes very, very difficult. So our project getting, I tell to my people also, project getting becomes very, very easy. But then the execution, the procurement, you can understand that it's a very, very challenging task nowadays.
Yeah. There are few hands. There also.
Thank you. So we were getting the feedback, but the appreciation should also be come from us. So for the first meeting, it's so good because we could get the feeling how we should move forward, and the way organizers have planned, the active people. We have seen how much hard work they have done, how much thought process Madam has done, and Sir was very active, listening to each talk. I think it's a fantastic thing, and the point is, if it is moving in a great direction, it will help not only CSR but the country itself. So feedbacks will be coming in the later stage, but appreciation should also come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
If I have to lead, I have to be an example. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. You led with the example. You and Madam both, all of us, all of you.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Sadish from Ampri Bhopal. It is an excellent organization, and it gave some good direction actually in terms of hardware, which direction people should work, and also like we also have to think about fabrication processes also. That will also give us the way forward on that, and materials also required in this aspect of that. And each domain actually already identified 4 nodals are there. Each individual domain, if you can organize some brainstorming sessions across different CSR lab, as a follow-up, we'll be very happy to participate on that.
No, but we need to first know who will fall under each.
Yes.
I think that is something is this.
Same like that. So we have already displayed the theme.
Correct.
And if I put across the point, that the talks which were organized was focused to one direction. So if we could have more areas, because we are very big than that. So if we have to understand the semiconductor and the photonics, this is very difficult. We followed some of the things, but for example, we had a talk today from IIT Madras. It's very good for us. So that is what I have to do, that we could organize these talks as per the themes and the brainstorm.
Maybe what we will do is maybe once in 3 months we will pick one theme and then have some people to talk, and online, rather than physical every time is not possible. So online, but then I need to know who all should participate in that. So those things, for example, drug discovery. We will get few people who will speak on drug discovery and related topics, something like that. We can think of it.
For example, there was environment. That was also there.
So, but no, this meeting, this overall, this kickstarting this overall activity or this initiative, idea is to bring all of us on the platform first. Then we can always categorize ourselves into different themes and verticals, and then we can start meeting. We can arrange speeches or like lectures in that particular theme and all. That is ultimately the plan down the line. But we wanted to kickstart the event or initiative by the CSIR, so that at least we can compile all the concepts note and all the data we get. We can compile, we can categorize into different themes, right? So we are just meeting to get started. This is not the last meeting we are having and we are going back and not meeting again. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we are having this feedback and everything, so that we can actually.
Month, I don't know, but at least once in 2 months or 3 months it should be.
Yeah. So.
I have just one suggestion. I'm from IMMT. So we in concept notes, like we have already submitted our CVs also. Like rest of the labs they must have submitted. So if you can compile all those CVs and all the concept notes, then we can identify who is working on which area.
Correct.
That's what we will do. But
I just
do that. The only problem is like we don't know for every lab whether it has percolated to every member or every scientist, whether this information has gone there. Because some labs director himself would have decided, okay, these 3 people are there, so you just do. Correct? So then there are more people who may be there in the lab, who may be able to contribute more. So now what we need to do, that is that job. Correct? So go back and then see who else can contribute, and then because your concept is there with me, but there is somebody who is not even aware that there is a effort like this is going on. So whether that if that effort reaches everybody, after that we get all the CVs, I can very well nicely put a graph and then show you who are the people who should work in this project. I will be able to do that. Okay, so that's what I want to say, that this is only a subset of what actually the strength of CSIR is, who can take advantage of quantum things. I'm not saying that we are already working in quantum. Let us not hype ourselves. None of us are working in quantum. Maybe some of these molecular biology people would have been doing quantum simulations on classical computer. That's the only quantum link so far. None of us has worked on any quantum algorithms and other things. So let us keep that in mind and see who else can contribute. It can be very young guy who would have just joined. Maybe he has interest. Because I saw like today when the this presentation was going on, one of my scientists, Manish, has started asking very good question, at which I never heard. So many talks have been there. I have never heard him asking a question which is like kind of very useful, and this one. Then I told him, you have interest in this? Yes sir, I have interest in this. You should tell me that, because I didn't know that he is interested in quantum related things. So like that, there may be many young scientists who will be there in your labs who may have interest. So we can have to bring them all together. That is how we need to work together towards that.
Maybe you can go back and you can also identify that this particular young man or young lady is interested in that kind of thing. The word of mouth itself will be very, very this thing. So you become the messenger of this, whatever has happened for last 2 days. You convey that message. I am sure that all the directors, they will encourage the participation.
Now, for example, I'll tell you, there is a CSIR ISRO event on 17th. For that, there was some proposals were asked from every lab. Many of you, how many of you are aware of this ISRO Gaganyaan program? Where for what applications have been asked for? So only few people, correct? That means this is not percolating to all scientists. It's not. The informations are not going to all scientists in every lab. Maybe there are few labs where it is going, few labs it is not going. But then we should not be missing a very good this one. Then later again somebody will say, no, why don't you include him? He also has some interest. Because after finalizing things and all, it becomes very difficult to again try to. In the beginning itself, we should know who are the best candidate or best people who can work together towards solving it.
Hi everyone, so my name is Samrat Ghosh from CSIR CLRI. I think before me everybody has told what is the importance of this meet, and everybody has mentioned, and when I came here as a material chemist, I was not knowing anything about quantum, but now I can say I don't know anything about quantum, but I know what to ask to the computer and what to search for. But in this case, when this project is getting framed, I would like to know, as sir has mentioned, that one big problem will be framed in this one or two big problem will be framed, and here lot of material chemists or in CSIR lot of material scientists are there. What could be their role in that particular problem? Because being a young person, I cannot probably frame the big question from my perspective, although there might be several energy related aspect might be big for me, might not be big for several other people. So how this big problem will be framed and how will be mapped into that big problem, so we can use our expertise where we are very much enthusiastic to deliver something for the CS.
You don't think what is big, what is, you just propose your concepts. It may be possible that from you a big idea might be coming. So don't underestimate yourself saying that you cannot think a bigger problem and all. And of course he can speak on that because he's from your field, so he can.
So your question is very relevant. The big problem will be decided by at the director level or the DG level. Now supposing for example you take a big problem. Now there are 4 verticals, right? All 4 verticals you are taking?
Yes.
So in that 4 verticals, you first think where you are aligning. Now you check with your respective coordinator. Generally what they will have different work packages will be there. In one vertical, suppose there are 20 work packages there. Of course, there should be synergy between it cannot be isolated that I will do some hardware, the other fellow will do something else. That should not be. Supposing, for example, I am developing one quantum dot. That is a vertical. In that quantum dot, for example, I have expertise only in the synthesis part. So you do only the synthesis part. The other work package, they can do the characterization part. I'm just giving an example. Don't take it. The third person can do maybe on the device thing. The fourth person can do the prototyping of whatever device you have done, and then the testing and the certification. So in one team itself, you will have large number of work packages. It is the job of that's what I'm telling here. The job of the coordinator and the program director becomes very, very important. I'm sure that in CSR that expertise is available because we run a very big program. So the program coordinator job is to see that whether all these work packages are getting kind of connected, and then even if you propose for say 50 lakhs or 100 lakhs, that is sufficient, but you do only on that particular thing. So I hope I just try to, or you have any other thing to ask?
No, this is, I got your point, but this is a very unique call.
Yes.
Where I could slightly understand that they are mostly looking for the algorithm or asking a very good big question like what kind of drug molecule will find and which cannot be done by the classical computer and something. So in that case, like or my case, I'm working on the hydrogen generation kind of material, where the question is which kind of material could generate.
That of course, maybe I will interrupt over here. You will have to do some literature surveys. Some homework has to be done. You have to speak to your mentors. You have to speak to your external experts. They will guide you. There are always mentors are there. You talk to them and then see that what is very relevant as on today. We should not do a problem which is about 10 years old. So that you should be relevant in that one. So that homework has to be done nowadays. For example, ORDIP is there. They will give some market survey and things like that. So that has to be done. There's no homework has to be done.
Thank you. I think we got enough feedback, suggestions, remarks, and I think all have taken, well noted. So I assure you that all of your suggestions and points are taken. We'll work on that. My team will be after this program. We have abundance of work to do, on compilation, mappings, and the other things. So you all will be updated through that. Now let us progress further to the official vote of thanks. Okay, so it's a tricky job, I would say. Vote of thanks is one of the difficult thing, I believe. Because you may what happens is there are multiple parties involved in making any program a grand success, right? And you don't want to miss anyone, but I'll try my best to name every possible person, every possible party, and every possible effort have been made to make this particular program a success. So I'm honored to stand here to deliver the official vote of thanks for the CQC 2025. I would start with DG CSIR, that she has taken up this initiative so that the CSIR won't miss the bus in this particular technological landscape. So and of course it has been percolated through a BDG head, Dr. Shailaja. Even though she is not here, she has been a great support to us, this program, this initiative, and mentoring all of her group and the overall activities. I sincerely thank her, and she was actively participating last 2 days. She just left in the afternoon. So on behalf of every one of us, I must thank her. Then of course the headquarter for other required support and thing. Then I of course thank Dr. Pashilkar sir, Director NL, who is even could not join because of some other commitments, but he has been supporting to this program and this initiative. I must thank Dr. Patra sir, Director 4PI. He has provided every possible help which is needed support needed for this particular event to happen. Then of course Dr. Harish is here. He's been providing his important suggestions and the guidance to this program overall. Of course, Dr. Venugopal sir has joined us for the last 2 days, and he just left in the afternoon. But his comments, his lecture, his guidance was immensely important to us. I must thank Venugopal sir for that. And again, moving next, maybe my colleague, my working group, who has been effortlessly putting a day and night into this, planning event like this, which may change at the last minute, some here and there. They're accommodating all those changes and moving it through. I must thank each one of those. Saujanya ma'am, Venkatesh sir, even Vinod, Asmita ji, and all of us. Then of course, to have this event at 4P and NL, we have other entities who were helping us throughout. Like we have our HODs providing their help whenever we feel necessary. Our respective department like electrical, IT, HLS, transport, admin, purchase, finance, canteen, and if I missed anything, everyone. So basically, on behalf of all the people who gathered together, I must thank them as well. And then my project assistant, the people who have been in the the guy who actually take the printout for us and everyone. So I take this opportunity to thank each and everyone who could possibly help us to make this event as a grand success. And of course, last but not the least, people, the audience who has traveled from right from Jammu to Chennai, to Bangalore, and with that much all these bright minds to take an interest into this event, who has put their efforts and engaged throughout this 2 days program and given their time as well as comments and suggestions. I thank each one of you, and if I missed anyone, any person, I excuse. Of course, I have wonderful lectures. I mean, I can't miss them because every speaker who attended this program, they were phenomenal in their particular field, and they were fantastic lectures have been given online, offline. I have a big list, but one of them are here. So of course, to all of our speakers and attendees and every possible one. If I missed someone, I really excuse me for that. With that, I think I officially. Of course. Okay, yeah. And again, the director. Yeah, when I say CSR family is such a huge family. You keep naming people, Now I have to go to the HODs of the respective labs who has nominated their fellow scientists, right? So of course, the director, the HODs of every lab who nominated, who. Yeah, so all. So with that, I think I conclude the vote of thanks and the program as well. Let us stand for the national anthem to conclude this program. Thank you.
शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Add one point which IIT Jammu were asking about. about. For the tutorials for introductory classes for quantum computing, there are several online portals available. Material is available. I also listed in one of the email which I have gone through for past few years.